Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another 20-minute testing. You may see that in the top left, I am no longer there. That is for two reasons. One, I have had a change of location, and the area is a mess. And second of all, I have COVID, and I am a mess, so we're not doing a face cam today. But today I wanted to talk about a deck that I've been recently learning, and I think it's cool. And since it just got released in Master Duel, I feel like it would be a great time to talk about it. Let's talk about ninjas. Today I'm going to be explaining how to play the deck and what the cards do, what's the strategy, and show a few replays. So let's get started. Ninja is a mid-ranged flip-based deck that has been around forever, but got a bunch of new support very recently that made the deck rogue viable. A lot of people were hyping it up, and I just never read the cards and never had to. And it has, I believe, 2 tops, which is same as the Constellars I did, but as you'll see, the strategy is a lot different here. So this is the list. I will be honest, I completely stole from one of those tops. This is a complete net deck. I just want to say that up front. But instead of showing off my yoinking skills, I just want to talk about what all the different cards do, because this deck is very complex, and for the first time playing it made my head hurt. We're going to start off with Mitsu, one of the main cards. If you control a ninja or face-down monster, you can specimen it from the hand, and when your opponent activates a monster effect, this is a quick, you can target face-down defense position monster you control, change it face-up, and if you do, change this card to face-down defense position, and then if the targeted monster was a ninja monster except Mitsu, negate the opponent's activated effect. So, you do a flip switch, and it is a monster negate that is also a free extender. It is a fairly big part of the deck, because having a monster gate is very good, and that's something that a lot of the other pieces of interaction that this deck has, that's something that they lack, just a straight up no card. Also, it's a level 2 insect, so you can make ultimate insect, and if you're on Master Duel, you can do sprite things. But now, moving on, we have Tobari, the Sky Ninja, one of the other main pieces of this deck. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect the turn it was special summoned or flip face. This effect comes in handy a lot of times. You would be surprised how much it comes up. And it has 2 other effects. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon a ninja monster from your hand in face up or face down defense position. Pretty good. That effect is alright, I would say, but this is the main effect. Quick effect, you can fusion summon one ninja monster from your X deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. So this card can act as like making sure you don't die. It acts as extension in a way, and is a quick fuse on your opponent's turn, which you will see is going to be very important coming up. Now, the main card of the deck. This is the main card. This is the card that you want to see every hand. If you do not see it, you get silly. It is Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. And when it's normal summon, you get to add a ninjutsu art card from your deck to your hand. And when it is flip or special summon, you can add a ninja monster from your deck to your hand. So on normal, it gets a ninjutsu art. On flip or special, it gets just a ninja. One thing about this card is it's a bit silly. It has the text when, so yes, this card can miss timing, and it has missed timing before for me. So watch out for that, and this is timing. Now, moving on, I'll talk about Geo, who's just like looks like the best, like Chad is anime of Cactus. When Geo is normal or special summoned, or flipped face up, you can target up to 2 face-up monsters on the field, change them to face-down defense position, and if you do, any opposing monsters that are flipped by this effect cannot change their battle positions. Whoa, a permanent double Book of Moon? That sounds pretty good. But wait, there's more. When a monster, this monster's face up on the field, and a monster is flipped face up, you can target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. Hard once per turn on each effect. So, this is one of your main boss monsters, excluding the fusions. you want to be finding ways to summon this on your opponent's turn to flip your opponent's stuff face down and pop their stuff. It's a delicious card. Now, Baku, the Beast Ninja. If it's added to your hand except by drawing it, you can special summon it out, and if it is special summoned or flip face up, you can target a ninja or ninjutsu art card from your graveyard or face up spell and trap summon except itself and return it to the hand. Just a good way to recur resources, which is actually quite important in this deck. Now, moving on, we have Kagero, the Cannon Ninja. In my opinion, he looks the coolest, or she, I actually don't know. But yeah, Kagero, the Cannon Ninja, has a cannon. Legit awesome. When it is normal summoned, special summoned, or flip face up, you can special summon a ninja monster from your hand or graveyard in face down defense position, except Kagero. So, pretty good. Summons itself. Or when it's summoned, you can summon something back or from the hand. And it has a second effect. When your opponent activates a card or effect that exactly targets one ninja card, or exactly one face down defense position monster you control while it's in the graveyard, click on that special summon this card in face down defense position. If you do, return the target card to hand. Pretty funky. I haven't had that come out a lot, but it is a very good effect. Kagero is great. Now finally, we have Green Ninja with Smoke Bombs. If a monster is special summoned to your field face up, except during damage step, you can target one of them. Special summon this card. If you do, change that monster to face down defense position. You don't use that a lot, but this is the main part. This card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard and target a monster on the field. Change it to face up attack position or face down defense position. So it can either flip one of your monsters back or book a move one of your opponents. And that's pretty nutty. Now we'll move on to other stuff. Nib, Ash, you've seen them. Rhoda, mini switches. Hanzo, Institution summons the future, which I'll talk about later. Promise Prosperity is a good card, you already know. Now, moving on to the first ninjutsu art, Notebook of Mystery. If your opponent controls the cards, this can really only be activated turn 2 or 3. You can set up to one ninja monster and up to one ninjutsu art spell or trap, except itself, from one from the deck and one from the graveyard. So, for instance, if you had a Hanzo in the graveyard, you activate this, you can send the Hanzo back to your field and send like a Dancing Leaves from your deck. Really good card. It's a great card. I'm always happy seeing it. Opener. Ninjutsu R2 Iron Man. It's also really awesome, and I'm surprised how much it comes up. There's a 500 buff, but that doesn't matter the most. This is the main effect. Once per turn, banish a ninja monster from the graveyard, turn card in the field, and pop by banishing, and then when it is sent to the field from the field to the graveyard, you're going to banish ninja added to your hand or special summon face in defense position. So it reoccurs something that is banished. Really awesome card. I wouldn't play more of this experience as you would. It's kind of fun. Look at the clips and look at the self-explanatory, imperm, self-explanatory. Now we'll move on to the final stuff. Ninjutsu art of Dancing Leaf. You can activate by shredding ninja or face down defense position monster on the field. This does include your opponent's stuff and special ninja monster from the deck. When this card leaves the field, summon monster to the graveyard and return the ninjutsu art into use of the trap. Return to the hand so that you can set this to set the even though this trap, it's not you can't use it repeatedly. You have to dance it back. Now, on to duplication. This is the power play of the deck. Activate a ninja monster, special summon any number of ninja monsters from your deck, and face up attack position or face down defense position with combined levels that are similar equal attributed monster. So, for instance, if you tribute the Holy Hanzo, you can get double Tabari and Hanzo. You tribute Geo, you're winning. This is the big power play of the deck. You do want to be using this as often as you can. I'm going to move on to the X deck now. Saizo, only important thing is you can set a ninjutsu art directly from your deck. Now, Yagumaru, when it's fusion summoned or special summoned from the X deck, first of all, both of them can be fusion or special summoned by tribute summoning the above cards, which is 2 monsters with different types. Pretty simple. And this one, if it's special summoned or flip face up, you can banish one other ninja or ninjutsu art card from your hand, graveyard, or face up field. Target card on the field, banish it. Banishing removal, It's really nice when you can make it on Tabara on your opponent's turn. Good card. Maizen. This is a fun one. It can either be fusion or special by attributing this stuff. Your ninja monsters can attack directly. This comes up a bit, actually. And while you control a defense position monster, and your opponent cannot target this card with attacks. And the final thing is when your opponent activates a card or effect, no matter what it is, you can special summon a ninja monster from your deck in face up or face down defense position. That is insane. It is nutty. Amazing card. And that's really all the cards, and I feel like the best way to show you how to play the deck is with some replay. So, starting off, we're going to be showing it against a 3-axis deck, I guess. And we opened Rhoda to get to Hanzo. Rhoda at Hanzo, Hanzo at Unome Yulum. Duplication set 3. We have the Notebook of Mystery and the Book of Eclipse set as well. Now let's see what happens. They special summon turn 4, special summon the Werewolf. I just decided to tag out now with duplication. We go for the play that I said earlier, Mitsu and double Tabaro, one in face on defense, so that Mitsu's negate is live and we can quick effect fusion. Now, since they have stuff and I have a Hanzo in the graveyard that I can set, I'm going to set the Dancing Leaves from deck and set a Hanzo. So right now, what I'm threatening is a Monster Negate and a Banish. Plus, complete battle protection. They can't kill me this turn. They make Super Quant. They try to get the Book of Eclipse, and because I want to make sure that I don't die this turn, I admit to this, and they normal summon the Lone Fire Blossom. I realize, ooh, Lone Fire Blossom, that's a scary card. Kill it. I kill it, and then they go Pot of Desires. I'm starting to panic, but they drew Lone Fire and yep, Gallus, and summoned a Gallus, and it whiffs, so they concede. And that's what the deck does going first. It really wants to go first. Now, what happens when you don't have access to the homie Hanzo? Alright, this is the next replay. We're playing against Tier Elements, and oh my gosh, they've opened a Guido. They've got a Guido, guys. And we have opened set the Book of Moon and the Eclipse, and set the Ninja with the Mitsu. So we have a Negate, a Book of Moon, and a Book of Eclipse. Enduro, sent a Guido. Mill a bunch of stuff. Don't know how they milled a second time. I don't know how that card works. Rhino Heart. Oh my gosh, what's happening here? Beast, Havenous, to make Grapha. Oh no, we're making another one. We're spinning back this. I'll just Book of Moon the Grapha. They go. This stupid card, which can search the sinking field spell. Battle phase, beat over. I'm feeling maybe okay, because you know, we didn't die. We top deck Hanzo. That's like, should be the best card. They, Keldo. I didn't know why they did it, but then I realized once I started summoning the Mitsu, oh no. Pellerino effect. I normal summon Hanzo. They Soliak here, sending the Mudora, which is interesting. I thought they should have sent the Keldo. I make a this, I Saizo, and then they have this, and then I realize the game is indeed over. Because as you see, when our homie Hanzo doesn't resolve, we can't get any resource engines online normally. So you just have like a bunch of good interruption, but once that interruption runs out, we're out of gas. So, yeah. Now, showing what it can do when it opens Hanzo and what happens without Hanzo, let's get into the best of 3. Start off, I'd like to say that I forgot to record game 1, so this is actually game 2. I could very quickly describe game 1 though. I went first. I made like 15 misplays ending on 0 interactions, and they did their evil twin stuff. At this moment in time, playing, choosing to go first again, I did not realize that they were playing Unchained. But you know, we're doing a best of 3 against meta. I think Unchained's meta, so we ball it. We don't ask about the evil twins though. So we're on the draw, and hey yo, look, what is that? Is that the boy Hanzo, let's go. Normal summon Hanzo. They drop the drone locker. Joke's on you. We don't have anything else. This is still a kind of crummy opener. But lucky for me, they have something called the ability not to recards. I just imperm this because if I can stop, I think if I can stop their Lilla plays, I win. So I Green Ninja, I flip that face down so that I can have this to do stuff. Then I see the Abomination's prison and I start freaking out. They Aruha, I Tobari, negate. Then they go Savara, and then what I do here is I Yogamaru. I'm gonna banish the Savara, and I'm going to Book of Moon here because I bet they are going to extend, and Nibiru only tributes face-up monsters. So let's see what happens. They summon the Abominable Unchained Soul. Okay, they pop that. That's a part of not understanding how the deck works. This is useless now. They summon a Lilla. They summon back that. Oh no, it's a Nibiru. And they concede. And if you're wondering what would have happened next turn, complete death and destruction. Now to in this best of 3 where I forgot to record game 1, we are going to that all-important game 3. Now with that all-important game 3, oh, this is a stinker hand, but I believe they let us go first. No, they don't. I forget. I don't know why they decided to go first and besides Kaijus. I don't know. So they go Lilla. I let them summon out. I have a plan. They Lilla, I imperm. They can't do anything now. Joke's on them. They said I escaped the Unchained. Breaky hand, just the way we like to see. Ooh, Pot of Prosperity. We gotta hit something good. Yeah, Rhoda is it. They get to draw 1 card. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. We add the Hanzo. Normal summon the Hanzo. Take a bit of damage from the Sunny Snitch. I don't care. We summon the Kagero. Kagero is going to reset the Tafari. And now we are going to tribute for Yogamaru. And we are going to banish the face down. Haha, get rid of that. Get out of here, escape the Unchained. And now we are going to set the duplication and the Book of Moon. So you see, duplication with Yagamaru is insane. Now, at this point in time, please realize, this player, I'm sorry, drugs not thugs, has not read a single ninja card. They're gonna kaiju the Hanzo. Abomination's prison, I'm just gonna tag out. They could have Abomination prison, they could have done anything. I just find it funny. So they set this, they Aruha, I'm Mitsu, and then they triple tack. They tribute tack taking this, they normal summon the Aruha, planning to crash. I don't want that to happen. But then they decide, hey, they can at least get rid of my Tobari. Oh, but they forgot to read its battle predicted effect. I draw a Dancing Leaves. Make, the boy banish this, summon, and just attack over. I should have probably banished the Aruha, but I forgot about that fact. So that would have been better. But we still have a Dancing Leaves that can bounce back the duplication. We have Nib, we have a summon from deck. Ladies and gentlemen, it is totally Jover. But they draw like the best hit they can. We summon a Tobari. They flip the Aruha. They're trying so hard. I banish it. They normal summon the Kiss-a-Kill. I know what's happening. I summon out. You haven't seen him yet in this episode. The boy himself, Gio. Flip down them. And at this point, what can they do? I bounce back the duplication. Set, go into the battle phase, attack. So, on their turn, I can duplication, tribute, Geo, and summon up to... literally the world is my oyster at that point. They draw. Yeah, that ain't doing it. That ain't doing it, Chief. That ain't doing it. They concede after the duplication. Now, it's time to go to the deck review. What's up? We are back with ninjas. With the pros and the cons. We'll start off with the pros, of course. Pro number 1 is the form of interaction. Book of Moons are silly. Book of Moons are fun. Pearly is a good deck in both the TCG and Master Duel, and both of them have issue. And Pearly just doesn't like Book of Moon. Also, Kashtira doesn't like Book of Moon, and it's still viable somewhere. So this deck is its form of interaction is good and silly. Another pro is it's just really fun to play. There are a few decks that I pick up and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is just like the funnest thing ever. Ninja's one of those decks. It's the thinking man's deck. You have to use your brain to use this deck, but it feels so rewarding to play as you like are able to slowly grind out your opponents with all your little like ninjas and some Nano Geo to finish them off. Another pro is that it is cool. It's about the same pro as the one before, but it's cool. Now, to the cons. 1, it can be inconsistent. If you don't open Hanzo or don't open a way to get to Hanzo or set up your ninjutsu R traps, you are in for a world of hurt. Because then the deck doesn't have any resources and you kind of just drop dead. You saw that in game 2 where or the second replay where I just didn't have any resources, and you go like, if I had resources I could have gone on and maybe beat the tier deck, but I just had no resources and was died death. Another con, link monsters. As I said, this deck is a very Book of Moon heavy deck, though there are Book of Moon interactions, like you have one on Jio, you have one on the Armored Ninja, and you have one on the Iron Digger. Still, the main form of interaction is going to be flipping your opponent's monsters face down. Can't do that to Link, so pure Link spam decks are going to be an issue for this deck. And the final con, but you can also take this as a pro, it is a highly skill-intensive deck. I've been trying to upload it like every 2 days, and I feel like this one's coming out like a day or 2 late, because it took me a while just to get the grips of this deck and understand how it's supposed to work and function. And even while recording multiple like things, and like the reason I didn't have that first game saved is because I got my butt kicked so bad because I made like 15 million misplays with like nothing, and just forgot to save it because it was such a throwaway replay. But this deck is super skill intensive, where you use your interactions, where you don't go for interactions and try to gain advantage or recycle advantage. I find that type of gameplay really fun, and it's just fun to play a deck that isn't just build a board or set 5 floodgates pass. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I've been cooking up a really great vid next. It's not going to be a 20-minute test. It's going to have to do with you. It's going to have to do specifically with the punk archetype. But you'll have to wait to see what that is. But thank you for watching to the end of this video. I know this one was probably a bit more tedious without the face cam, and maybe my voice is a bit off, but thank you so much for watching the video. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you're liking the content. Remember, MBT's link is down in the description because I copy and pasted his idea and his series, kind of. And with that, thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.